Okay, so a couple of you guys have been asking about stones for the base of your tying vise, and I figured I could help out. Why not? A little background: I've done stones since I was 15. Learned it from my father, who learned it from his father, who learned it from his father. I believe he learned it from watching a YouTube video. So on we go. A couple different types here you'll find at a standard countertop shop. These are actually scraps that I was given. Full disclosure, I am not a countertop guy. I sell building stone, and my family, we have actually a quarry. But we sell stuff not like this. This was given to me by somebody else I know in the stone business. This, for lack of a better word, is a granite as far as I'm concerned. Now they have dozens of trade names for these things. I mean dozens and dozens. And interesting thing about stone, you can't copyright a stone, but you can copyright what you call it. Or I should say trademark, I guess. So who knows what this is going to be called? Depends where you go. It could be the same stone at 3 different locations, all with different names, but the exact same stone. Like I said, this I'm considering a light granite. I have this here. This is a dark granite, high crystallization and mica content in there. I'll tell you right now, this is going to be probably the toughest one to drill. This is a piece of soapstone. I foresee this being probably the easiest one to drill because I have actually seen guys carve this with knives. It can be done. You can scratch a hole in it with a nail. It's pretty amazing what you can do, and it's beautiful when you put a little bit of mineral oil in there. Now this one over here is actually a stone I sell. This is some sort of a marble. They won't tell me where it comes from because they're afraid I'll go right to the source. It comes in from the people that I buy travertine from. Relatively inexpensive. All these over here, you're talking about minimum price of $50, $65, sometimes over $200 a square foot. This stuff in the most expensive form I've seen is $16 a square foot, which for my, what I sell is still pretty expensive, but much more reasonable should you have to actually buy a sheet rather than getting a scrap one. Okay. Now on to what I'm using here. This is my drill. It is a craftsman's drill. We don't use the top of the line tools because the tool will actually wear, because if you could see, that is all stone dust in there. It gets into windings and they just essentially fall apart. I mean, you hear these bearings grind and that's it. They're done for. This is a hammer drill. I can have 2 different settings. I can either put it on hammer or standard drill as it is now. I'm going to leave it on standard drill because I figure I'm going to do this in the way that I think everybody will probably have the most tools. I doubt most people are going to have a hammer drill, but most people probably will have a 1/2-inch chuck drill or know where to get one. Obviously, again, this would be much easier if you had a drill press, but not everybody has a drill press in their house. So, on to the actual bits. These are stone bits for mining. These would just shatter the stones completely. This is a standard carbide tipped quarry bit. That is an old style. This is a fairly newer style. They call this a button bit because these little nodules on here are actually little round pieces of carbide and they just pulverize whatever's in there. Again, you can't use them, but if you look up stone bits, you might see these too. This is not what you want because then you'll have to buy a rather large drill to use them. This is an excellent bit. This is a core bit. These are used to take out a solid plug. And you can. They use them for countertops, sinks, stuff like that. I use them when somebody wants a fountain through a rock. It's great. However, you usually need an adapter, which we made through, you can see here, a 3/4 inch bolt. And this bit costs, if I remember correctly, $95. So we're going to skip right over that as well. And what I have over here are the bits we're going to be using. These are carbide tipped masonry bits. These are made to go through concrete walls, blocks, anything you have. Pretty much concrete, mostly to do things like spigots outside the house, stuff like that. I have different ones here because as you're going to see, I'm going to need to do this in steps. You can't just go straight to the biggest one. It won't work. You'll actually melt the bit. In fact, the reason I have this one here is, see if I can get a good shot. That is a crack in the carbide you see right there. Of course, cell phones are fantastic at filming. That is a crack in the carbide. This bit is done for. It's a shame because it still has a good bit of carbide on it, but it's not going to work anymore. If I try to turn it, this thing it's going to melt. You'll see molten level, or molten metal, excuse me. This is what I'm going to use to attach the stem of the vise. It is a copper pipe. I'm going to drill a hole in the side of it and put a thumb screw in there and just use pressure minimally to attach it. I will then glue this piece after it's cut with a hacksaw into whatever stone it is I'm using. Again, I have actually not done this before, so this is going to be a trial and error process. I'm going to be pausing it when I drill because I'll need both hands. This is going to take a little bit of force, and I'll give you a step by step as I go. So keep watching if you want to find out.